All right, so next up we have our next Duck Hunt set. This one is from Viciou. At least I hope that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. Been a while since I've watched him play, and it looks like this was an IRL tourney too, so always excited to see some IRL Duck Hunt action. And the last one's going to be IRL too, so that's going to be good to see. So we'll see what happens. It's been a while since I've watched this one play, as I mentioned, and I don't know what the matchup is yet, because I haven't taken a look at this. Oh, so it looks like a pretty nice venue, though. Okay, Duck Hunt Wolf. So most people will cite this as one of the more difficult ones. However, I think it's kind of... I think Wolf is fallen out of most people saying he's the most difficult one, because I definitely don't think he is. So before we continue on, let's talk about Wolf in general. So basically, he kind of suffers from the same issues that the other space animals do. It's that basically once he gets thrown off stage, he just kind of pops as long as you know what you're doing against him. Though I think, like, kind of in a vacuum, he's somewhat the hardest one to edge guard. Just because, like, if he decides to do side B, you need to know immediately that he's going for it. However, the good thing is there's a spacing tell with that one. And it's like, let's say you cover side B and he decides to up B, you should have enough time to recover before he gets back. Like, you won't hit him, but you shouldn't be in a bad position either, that's the good thing. But the thing with him is just, like, his hitboxes are very oppressive, and it's really hard for Duck Hunt to contest them, considering, like, how little recovery Wolf has. Like, something I never realized with Wolf that I think is kind of ridiculous is that the auto-cancel frames on back air are dumb. So to give you an idea of back air. So back air comes out frame 13, but it auto-cancels from frame 19 and onward. So basically, like, he can throw this out there, and then, like, 6 frames later, land with 0 lag. Like, this is dumb. Can't land with it. Landing with it is going to be 15 frames of end lag, but as you see, -10, -11, fairly safe on shield. But you can still punish at the very least. But, like, if he goes for those if he goes for the auto cancel frames, he can psych you out very easily. And then, you know, forward air, if you space it, very safe. Neutral air, very safe. And this hitbox, very hard to contest. You can beat it out with up air, but you need to do up air in a very specific way to beat that. And just overall, he's just pretty good at messing with, like, Duck Hunt. Like, laser just kind of interferes with can a lot, but you can kind of bait that out like a reflector in a lot of ways. But at the same time, it's like he's going to be using it at, like, at a very safe distance just to, like, get a quick punish out. So he shouldn't have too much of an issue with that. And then every trade works in his favor too. So, like, really your biggest thing is, like, knowing your punish game on him. Because, like, that's what really makes this matchup, like, a lot more even. Because, like, once you know that, and you kind of know how to, like, just beat out his different approaches, he's not too bad. But if he camps back a lot, and, like, you need to kind of, like, find ways to bait him out, that can be tricky. So with that all out of the way, let's get into this. Don't worry, Wisdom. You missed the first one, but you're going to be right here for a Wolf set. Okay, Clay Pigeon F Smash. That is the fakest thing that I've seen, at least at that percent. Wolf is actually one of those characters Clay Pigeon F Smash will work on. So if you land that at 60%, that will kill. Oh, that one was, like, the easiest one to just F Smash. Because, like, you know, he landed on stage. He was going high too. So fun fact, like, if he just held out that rapid jab, he probably just would have, like, flat out won that exchange. Just because, like, that rapid jab will beat out a lot of things. Don't want that. So let's explain why that was lost real estate right there. Wait, whatever. Think of... Oh, wow, that was a lot farther back than I wanted. That was too far back. Okay, so it's like right after this. Oh, I think I just missed it. No, it's right here. Okay. So, okay, this is the worst thing to use. Because now I can't show it off. Okay, so basically right here, knocks Wolf off. And instead of setting up a can, he put out a gunman. And the gunman's only going to cover this, and it's going to drop down. By putting out a can, he'd be able to control the air and then let that slowly fall to the ground. And then just put Wolf in a really uncomfortable situation to capitalize on. So that's why you don't really want to focus on gunman in a scenario like this. Can should be your number one thing to get out in terms of getting ready for control. So look at that. He got nothing off of going for that gunman, where Can would have done so much more. However, he could have played a lot better on that gunman too. Again, there with that clay pigeon Can, there's a very big disconnect with what he's going for. Because like if you want Can to go for it, you just let Can do the tricks. But if you're going for clay pigeon, you want to make sure that clay pigeon is going to have the maximum combo potential off of it. And with the setup that he was going for, it just reduced the efficiency of everything he had. He also didn't believe in that clay pigeon hitting, so he just kind of suffered for that. And then that one, like, he's just throwing out way too many F smashes at this point. Like, if the Wolf decides to wait for him to go for an F smash, and he did nothing else, he would probably win this very easily. Again, panic clay pigeon there. That got him just hit in the face. Make sure you're not doing that. And then when you're at the ledge, again, when you're on the ledge against Wolf, you just need to be patient. Wait for him to press a button, and then you just punish it. Or you just get around it. Like, if you press a button on Instinct to recover against Wolf, that's going to do more harm than good to you. Because, like, if he 2-frames you, he 2-frames you. There's nothing you can do about that. But, like, once you have, like, once you grab the ledge and he hasn't 2-framed you, then you just need to wait for him. Okay, so he could have gone for a second clay pigeon to get the kill there. But it didn't look like he was too confident. And on this stage, if they're like at 100%, you want to do that second clay pigeon to a nair. Just because you probably can't get the back air out, and the side blast zones are a lot closer than taking him to the top. Oh man, yeah, if he had an up air out, you probably would have killed him. See, like again, that clay pigeon's not doing too much. If we had a gunman out and like that shot, that might have been able to kill him at this percentage too. That looked like just a great A bait. Surprised we had enough time to get that F smash out. Honestly, that was pretty smart on him to go for the reflector. It's just like the one thing is the shots won't be reflected in a way that will hit Duck Hunt. So that's the only reason why it doesn't make sense there. But like if he jumped, then the reflector would have been a good idea. Unfortunately, I wasn't ready for the timing of that tech situation. Yeah, again, clay pigeon not doing good. Can will do a lot more work than that. So we need to get a lot more cans out. Definitely do not panic F smash now. And then like there with like trying to challenge that with that F tilt, like the Wolf is just spacing now, and he's got like no sense of trying to give himself any neutral advantage. Like he's just throwing out all these Hail Marys. Another Hail Mary right there. Like, he can play this game, like, Viciou could just play this really, really safely and take it so easily. And unfortunately, he didn't ping the can away because down throw, up air would have probably killed at that point. Honestly, I'm surprised that Wolf just didn't throw out some hitbox. And that's the danger of doing directional air dodges, because that's definitely what got that Wolf player killed. So if you're going to directional air dodge, make sure you air dodge diagonally up, so that way you don't go into the blast zone as much. And if you have a way to stop your momentum, you do that, but Wolf isn't one of those characters. It says jump or diagonally air dodge up. Wolf is one of those characters, though, where it's like his air mobility is so good, I would just jump. Yeah, this guy, Viciou has no restraint at all. He definitely needs it. Because like, he's just throwing out moves endlessly. Like all those haphazard F smashes. Those clay pigeons were super unsafe. Like, just not a good look. Let's see what he does in this next game. That's again, as long as he was playing safe and all that, he'd do good. Yes, so let me break down that concept real quick before Okay. So when you do directional air dodge, let's go into slow motion. We can show this off a little bit better. So, you know, neutral air dodge, and now let's do directional air dodge. When you do directional air dodge, so I'm air dodging to the right, but as you see, it moves my character back a little bit, and then it goes forward. So that little move back there, that can get you killed. So let's look at that again. So as you see, it basically moves me a full unit backward. And I think that like they did that to like prevent wave dashing. So the way that you reduce that distance is by directional air dodging diagonally. So in this case, if I directional air dodge up, while it's still pretty far, it's not quite as far as doing the, as just doing to the side. Let me see if I can make it a steeper angle. Actually, let me put myself at like 50%. And let's have this Pikachu just do like an F smash. Okay, so I'm gonna do air dodge in. So just like holding straight to the side. So you see in that case, like now I'm just going completely like through that red line there. Okay. Now I'm gonna do directional air dodge. So the placement's a little bit different from where we were before. Again, we do directional, diagonal. Oh wow, it actually just makes me go straight up. That's so weird. So it's like a full momentum cancel at that point. Yeah. Okay, now I'm gonna just do like the 45-degree angle. So yeah, I think in this case, like do the 45-degree angle. I think you get like a little bit better that way. So 45-degree. Yeah, as you can see, just because of like the way the knockback works, it's just a little bit different. And I'm going to do horizontal again. So yeah. It's like that little micro difference can be what like kills or saves you. So important tip to know, but remember this though. Let me just get launched by him real quick. So if I use my directional air dodge now, I cannot air dodge out of up B. So for Duck Hunt, I really don't recommend doing that, just because directional air dodging out of your up B I think is a lot more important. So I would recommend against that specifically as Duck Hunt, just because that's too important to have. I would say use your double jump as a Duck Hunt player, and then just save the air dodge. Because like God, like that little air dodge at the end of up B saves you in so many instances that I wouldn't trade it. Okay, going to PS2 now. Let's get the trading mode music back on, and here we go. Oh yeah, no. So he's also doing like another like beginner player habits where you just kind of jump forward to recover, and that's not good. Again, bad clay pigeons. You want to see a lot less of that. We want to see a lot more cans. Can is not something that Viciou is really like concentrating on using, and that's always a problem. Also, he got really lucky with that timing of hitting Can there. Most of the time, Can would have just blown up in that instance. But I think it's because he specifically hit the blaster after with his F-tilt. And then, of course, you cannot grab the ledge as you nair, so you need to be very careful with that. That was a little cheeky placement there, just because like that up air sort of knocked Wolf out of everything he was going to do. So, well, I don't think it's the best thing. It's actually not a terrible option to go for in that instance. And then, yeah, if people aren't ready to parry or block it, then obviously F smash will give you a lot of mileage. Completely missed the ball there. You got to remember that whenever somebody's getting hit by the can, they're being sent to you or they're going to land on that platform at that percent. Good setup there, but unfortunately he's not keeping in mind with what he's going for. Like, when you have the landings covered with Gunman, your F smash is immediately invalidated there. So there is zero reason to go for it there. Because like even if you hit them with F smash, Gunman's still going to take priority over it because that has enough knockback that it'll just knock them out of it. So that was completely like not worth going for. So like, when you're Viciou, when you're like looking at this, like make sure you're really conscious of what you're doing with your options. Know what your projectiles are covering and don't like ruin your own setup or like undermine their effectiveness. You got to place everything with a purpose, and you have to know what that purpose is. So like that's fine. Cover the side B distance. Down angled F tilt would have taken care of that, but I mean at least you hit him with F smash. That's what I mean. Like as long as this Wolf just kept in mind you were going to keep going for F smash, like. This would be very easy to clean up, but he's just not punishing your bad habits. And when people don't punish your bad habits just become bad habits that you're going to keep forever. Until the player that's good enough is going to punish you. Yeah, that was not a good setup to go for. But luckily he got caught up in his own punish as well. That was a good setup. He could have just like done a reflector to get around the entire thing if he didn't grab on time. But again, I would like to see a Gunman there to just cover that landing. Clay Pigeon's just not as good for it. And not to mention, if you put Gunman out, you can just cover all the blind spots that are between Can and Gunman at that point. So Can, Gunman? Oh, no. Okay. As I say, that should do it. That DI is pretty bad. Overall, he's just getting hit by everything that you throw at him. He's not really... Your opponent's just, like, not considering what options you're going to throw out. And he's just trying to just, like, hit you with everything that he's got without thinking about it either. It's like the best way to describe this is, like, imagine he's a 6-sided die, and you're rolling with, like, a 20-sided die, and there's, like, only 5 spots that are below 6. And you just kept winning all those rolls every single time. Like, it didn't really look like you were putting too much thought into anything that you were doing. You were just, like, kind of brute forcing it. And because you had, like, way more hitboxes out, you just kind of won most of those interactions. So you really need to think about, like, why am I throwing out this Gunman? Why am I throwing out this Clay Pigeon? Why am I throwing out this Can? And you need to really focus more on your Can. Because, like, you were neglecting it so much in so many critical situations where it would have just given you such a big advantage into how to punish him overall. Definitely calm down on the F smashes, because, like, he was getting caught by them, so, you're free to do it when they're getting caught. But, like, a better player is going to notice that immediately, just jump over and hit you. Like, one quote from Mr. R that will always stick with me, because I'll probably remember it next time I go to a tournament, is that he says, like, whenever he's, like, playing in pools and all that, the only thing that he looks for to punish are just, like, the big heavy hitting moves. Like, he just looks for you to go for that smash attack. So it's like, once he sees that, like, okay, big punish right now. Of course, some characters have some very safe smash attacks, so it doesn't apply to them. But, like, let's say you're fighting, like, a Cloud and he likes F smash a lot. Okay, because he's a lower level player, he'll probably go for it at one point. I'll just wait for that to come out. And if you apply that methodology to the way you're playing, they would have wiped the floor with you, just because, like, F smash with Duck Hunt leaves you so vulnerable to so many different things. And it's not like Wolf can't punish it. He's very easily able to punish that with, like, a heavy punish as well. Like, even if he just, like, kept doing dash attack over and over again, like, it would work. Overall, edge guarding your ledge guard needs work, because like you just kind of threw out like your biggest punish and he just happened to fall into it. It didn't really look like there's much of a rhyme or reason to it. So honestly, this is the one thing that I like about ledge game with Smash is that that's something that you can actually practice with CPU. So just like, you know, put them to like level 7 or something like that, and just keep knocking them off stage, and then just get ready to cover what, just because like CPUs are random, you actually have to react to what option they're going to choose. And that makes it so much better for practicing, because like you're not going to know what they're going to do, and that'll just help you to recognize situations better. Obviously though, like when you do start playing players, you want to look for more habits of what they have at ledge and punish that. But just getting used to like more unpredictability, and then just like not knowing what ledge punish to go for, so that way you as a Duck Hunt player, you focus on covering as much as possible. That's really good practice to have. So that's something that you can do in your own time. You don't need somebody to play for that, and just work on that. Obviously, like dial back on the clay pigeons, because that leaves you very vulnerable, and dial back on the F smashes. Focus on throwing out can a lot more, and just think about why you're really using that gunman. Like gunman is there to cover a large zone on the ground or in the air, and that's mostly going to be outside of like certain projectile matchups. And it's like if you want people to hit it so you can punish them very easily with that. So, you know, think about, okay, what time do I need to throw out this gunman in order to get the best possible timing to cover their landing? Because when you do that, you force them to shield, or they're automatically going to take a punish for it by just landing there or pressing a button right as they're landing too. Let's say like they land and jab, then the gunman shot will hit them and stuff like that. That's what you want to think about with that. And you want to think about what's going to be the follow-up that you're doing after they get hit by that gunman, or if they don't. So it's like you kind of have to have like all those options like mapped out in your head already. So that's something that just comes more with time. Obviously, I have my gunman guide, so look at that to like kind of get a refresher on things that you can do. But you'll kind of understand what type of things that you personally want to go for off of those gunmen and how you want to utilize them. Like a lot of things with Duck Hunt comes down to what you're comfortable doing with him and what things you like to go for. Just because everything that he has is so flexible. So it's like if you want to use like cans is like more as a projectile, you can do that, but you need to know how to like kind of bait out things with it, so that way it's like it's not just hitting them, but you're also able to use that to just get your openings on them. Gunmen, you can think more, it's like, okay, do I just want this to force options out of them, or am I focusing more on just getting combos off of it? So you can focus your gunmen placements based off of those like different setups as well too. So there's just a lot to think about this character. So focus on learning those projectiles better. Focus on not like just kind of blowing your load on the most punishable things that Duck Hunt has. And focus using F tilt more on ledge, because like once you get into the habit of that instead of F smash, that'll probably save you a lot. And just everything else I was saying before. It's honestly quite a good amount. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, or Viciou found this helpful. Do you guys have any questions about the Wolf matchup specifically? I didn't really get to talk about it too much because there weren't too many specifics with Wolf that came out. Before I go, on at least with this set, I will briefly talk about dealing with Wolf's Snare. I did cover this in the hitbox video, so if you guys ever need to go back and watch it, I do this whole analysis of Duck Hunt's visual hitboxes. So if you're looking to fight this matchup, please look at that, because I do talk about this one interaction specifically, and it'll be easier than finding it here. So the first thing to keep in mind is let's look at the two hitboxes here, because like every Duck Hunt will complain that, oh, up air does not beat out Wolf Nair. So that's not true, but there's a very good reason why a lot of people think that. So when you look at Wolf Nair, this is the hitbox. It covers his foot completely. Very hard to challenge. When you look at Duck Hunt up air, remember you can hit the head. So this disjoint loses to that. This just fundamentally outranges it. However, there's this whole big spot in the back that's a hitbox. So when you put this hitbox and you just put it like against this, this hitbox is always going to win. You just have to make sure the head's not hitting. And then there's also hit 2 of duck hunt, where it's a lot more disjointed. So if you focus on hit 2 of up air, this is just going to fundamentally beat out any part of Wolf's up air. And then lastly, hit 3. This is just way too disjointed. That will flat out beat it. So let's go back to the game. So I'm going to put him to control. And we're going to need... So... And then nair, short hop up air. Oh, I hate the way the buffering system works in this. So with this, this is just going to trade just because like the duck head is right there. And that's going to hit the foot. So the way you circumvent this. And then we're going to do... Oops, I forgot to hit jump. So in this case, what happened was I did it too early. The hitbox only lasts 2 things. So see right there, the foot's gonna miss, and then he gets hit by the rest of the move. So against Wolf, you kind of just like want to turn around and do that, and then you'll have a much better chance of beating him. But then of course you can always like aim to hit with like the later parts, which is normally the better thing to do. But yeah, just keep that in mind. You want to do that little turnaround there, and then you'll never really be dealing with it. Okay, and it looks like we got no further questions, so that'll be it for this.